2011 Jeep Wrangler Sport Unlimited, no door. Customer states they were having an off-road adventure and they sent it a little bit too hard, eh? And now the steering wheel is kind of sideways-ish and it pulls and does not drive straight, and they are concerned they may have damaged something. So we're just going to verify the steering wheel not being straight, which we have done so. Okay. All right, let's go give it a look-see-loo down below in the nether regions and see what has become damaged on this particular Jeep. Uh-oh, I think I found something. This big tie rod here is a little curvy and it's supposed to be very, very straight. I wonder if that's what they managed to bend. I just had this thing on the alignment rack and it looks like the left front toe is pointed inwards towards the center line about 1 full degree. The right side toe is okay. Now that indicates to me that that bar that connects the two wheels is indeed bent. It's bent and has become shorter, which has drawn the left side wheel in towards the center. So I'm gonna try to beef this up a little bit with some heavier duty off-road super duper Jeep parts, and let's see what we can do about that. Powering down. Yeah, I think we can see this here. Yep, there's the bend right there. Too much curviness. Alright. We have the delivery, and it's a heavy one. Come out. Wow, that's a big rod. You can barely lift it with one hand. Alrighty, so this kit is manufactured by a company called TerraFlex. Not sponsored, that's just the name of the company. These are supposed to be extra heavy duty, and they appear to be very extra heavy duty. Look at that. It is massive. I like this. Look how they recessed the Zerk fitting inside of the ball joint so you can't break it off. Very nice. This is hardcore. Oh look, it gave me instructions. Don't need those. There's one of the other tie rods. Nice and beefy. Oh yeah. Come here, blue stuff. We don't need you. Okay, so this segment is already completed. It's got the adjuster sleeve on it, both ball joints, so we'll set this aside because this one is incomplete. Now each of these tie rods, one of them is standard thread, one of them is left-handed thread. Reason being, to create an adjustment, you rotate the center bar right here and it will lengthen or shorten the overall length of the assembly. So let's get this put back together. Got a 50-50 shot at getting it right. And there it is. Whoa! Almost dropped my rod. Alright, this is for the next guy. And a little bit of lube goes a long way. High-speed Mustang departure. All show and no go. There we go, now we're threaded. Good. Okay, this should be relatively easy. We're gonna pull this tie rod off, We're gonna pull the steering stabilizer off. We'll pull this one off over here. Same thing with this link here. We'll drop all this out and just put all the new stuff back in as complete assemblies. All right, we'll start with the larger rod, the one that is bent first. Pull the nuts off. Ooh, that's a little warm. Hot. All right, next up, it's for the Harbor Freight Pittsburgh semi-sketchy ball joint separator slash tie rod separator. Put that in there. What we do is we tighten this down and it will press down on the stud, pushing it through the spindle. Fancy. All right, here we go. Safety squints engaged. Passenger side next. Again, holding the rod. Sketchy. So a quick side-by-side comparison shows that this new unit is much stronger and beefier than the OE unit. And we can better see the twists and the bends in it from the impact that it had suffered. This one is straight, this one is not. You know, one funny thing I'm noticing about this setup right here is everything is upgraded. That's an upgraded lateral link. These are upgraded. There's a bunch of stuff out back upgraded, but the shocks, of course, it's got the lift kit, but the stuff that failed was the non-upgraded OE parts. Something worth noting. It's relatively insignificant, but I noticed. Anyway, up top I've got to remove this the manual way because I can't fit a tool. Wrench gravity can't fit a tool up there to break that nut loose, so I've just got to do this the manual way. We'll put it over here, that way it can't turn anymore. I can break it loose. However, we are going to need some more lumens over here. There we go, maximum power. All right, let's get this guy out of here. Got it? Yeah. This is gonna work out just fine, says I. Come on. Everybody okay? You guys good? I'm good. All right, moving on. One more ball slash tie rod, ball and socket joint to go. Okay, again, I'm taking a firm grip of the rod here. Awesome. Let's pick up our wobbly bits off the floor here and do a comparison of this part of the linkage with the aftermarket replacement heavy duty one that we got earlier. Let's see how these match up. Oh yeah, much more heavier dutier. More flashlight gravity. I wasn't even using that one. It's falling apart today. Yeah, you can see much heavier, much thicker here. Shank is thicker. The adjuster is thicker. Again, the Allen socket is larger and thicker. Loud noises. Okay, enough screwing around. Let's get this tie rod and stuff put back together. Alright, let's see. We'll do the exact order, opposite order of operations. Let's get this one up in there like so. Thread you on. And then, yeah. Okay. Wrong angles for my bangles here. There. Woohoo! See, beginning impacting clicks now. Tight. Next. Non-impacting clicks. These are tedious multi-stroke clicks. You know, that's like a subconscious effort now. I don't even think about it anymore. I've been corrupted. Come on. There we go. Ha! And click. Alright, let's get the big rod next. And yeah, they made me reuse the old hardware. They did not give replacement nuts, which I found that to be cheap. But what are you gonna do? You know, 2022 and all. Gotta drop those standards. Lickage. And then we got, bear with the shaky. Got one more over here on this side. Come on, get in there. Come here. Nice. Alrighty, so we did get a new mount for the steering stabilizer, so we have to kind of engineer this back together somehow. We've got the bolt here that's going to run through. Washer, there's another washer right there. And then half of this threads in here, and then there's another half that will clamp it on to the rod. So let's get this guy threaded. We'll get it lined up, and then we'll bolt the mount on. It's supposed to go like that. Where's the bolt? Okay. Let's do two of these. Loud noises. Two of these bolts at first, and I'll do the remainders after I get this threaded together. Is this gonna work? Sure. The powder coating on this makes these threads not fit very well. Okay, two of them are on, two more to go. All right, let's get our dangled angle proper. Oh, did you guys see that? I dropped it and caught it at the same time. I love moving through the matrix. Thickage. There we go. All right, so before these wheels go on, we're gonna move on to the lubrication portion of this particular operation here. Don't tell me you're not gonna fit. There, whoa, that would have upset me. Okay, that one's full. Nice overflow action. And the left outer lower. Get you plugged in, get in there. Clickage. 2, 3, 4, 5 squeezes. There we go, we're full. I'd like to grease the ball joints too, but they don't have any fittings on them for grease application, so looks like we're SOL on that. All right, 2 down, 2 to go. Over on the passenger side, plug it in, lube it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Wheels back on. Jeep coming down. All the way down. Alrighty, looking good. Let's get this thing over to the alignment rack and get everything brought back into geometric specifications. Starting the Jeep engine now. Alright, let's go. Backing up, horn honking for safety. Steering wheel's already a little off. No worries, I will correct it. Escape, reset, loud noises, beginning, Jeep, J for Jeep, and what is this, a Wrangler? Yeah, Wrangler, 2011 JK, Wrangler. Moving on up. That's far enough, on the locks. Loud noises. This has to be on the lock so it sits level. If it's on level, then the measurements will not be correct and I'll be performing an anti-alignment, and that would be bad. Okay. Heads, you're coming with me. Roll it back so we can compensate for the run out that is between the head and the wheels. Basically what it does is takes a picture of this position, then we roll it back, takes a picture of this position, and it can then calculate how uneven the heads are with relationship to the rim. Wheel. Run. You can't keep up with me. Got the ambition. Got the motivation, energy. Installing brake lever now. Okay, we can put that in park. I like to put the parking brake on just for fun. Starting the engine. Now we're gonna turn the wheels. This is gonna measure the caster measurement. Think of caster like a shopping cart wheel. You know, the flippity floppity ones in the front? It's where the center line of the wheel is in front of or behind the pivot point. So for example, like a shopping cart wheel, the center line of the wheel is going to be behind the pivot point. That's going to be negative caster, and it's unstable, but it turns well. And if you think of a motorcycle wheel, where the center line of the wheel is in front of the pivot point, that's going to be considered positive caster, and that's more stable but harder to turn. Okay, we're not going to center this wheel just yet because we need to make sure those two front tires are parallel with each other. And that's going to be the adjustment of our big rod. So, power this down for now. Alright, what do we got here? 50 and 50. Both wheels are pointed towards the center line, 1/2 a degree, for a total towards the center line of 1 whole degree. That's actually a lot, but since we have new parts, that does not matter. There's no way we can set up new parts for a perfect alignment. So, let's go ahead and adjust this. We want to make this rod longer. I think I can do that by hand. It's because I put some lube on it. If we watch, look at that. Brought it down already. Beautiful.
Do you mind pulling up right up here? Yeah. Thank you.
Alright, that's good. Okay, so this being a Jeep with a double link type suspension, or steering system rather, what I'm going to do is, well, we've already set total toe. So this one is parallel to that one over there. Now we're actually going to physically center these wheels on the plates. That way each number is going to represent or end up being, you know, 0.05, 0.05. That'll equate to a total of 0.10. At that point, the steering wheel is going to be off left or right, and we're then going to adjust this adjuster to bring that steering wheel back to where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to hop back up here. We're going to watch our screen, and we're going to bring those measurements into spec. Hope you can see from here. It's kind of far. Yeah, and I can't zoom in any farther. Yeah, let's start it. Get some power steering assist. 20, 15. See, total toe is not going to change between the left and right wheel. There we go, 5 and 5 on both sides. So technically, by that chart, it's in spec. However, we did this differently, and we did not set up the steering wheel centered first and then make the adjustments. We made the adjustments, and then our finalized adjustment is going to be to center up this wheel. So all we need to do is lengthen that upper rod, and it's going to turn the steering gear and then bring this wheel back to level. And a side note, this camber angle on the right front is non-adjustable. We would have to replace one of the ball joints with an offset ball joint to bring that camber angle back to where it's supposed to be, so there's really nothing I can do about that right now. Okay, I'm gonna need some big pliers. I'll bring my angry pliers and my frustrated pliers, because the nuts on those rods are rather huge, and I don't know if my regular tools can handle them. I brought total toe up to 0.20 instead of 0.10. 0.10 was actually too low on the spec. If we review specifications, vehicle specs, we want to see total toe at 20, and we had it at 10, so it was bouncing in and out of specification between the green and the red, so I just upped it to where it's supposed to be. Yep, that's pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and lock these jam nuts down. There's one on each side. Get that one too. Jam nut click. Clickage. And let's lock down this side next. Nope, wrong way. Silly me. Finalized jam nut click. Well, that's nice. My angry pliers chipped off some of this paint right here. I'll have to fix that. There. Nice and shiny. Okay, so we can see how this dropped down again to 11, but both sides are right in spec. This is the edge, so we're good here. That happened when we locked everything down. The space in the threads was taken up by the torquing of that jam nut, and it sort of brought or extended that spreading bar out just ever so slightly. However, we're still on the edge of spec, so this is good. That can stay. Now we find ourselves in a position where we can tighten down the steering stabilizer and bracket, but something I want to do first, and that's going to be install a bit of thread lock on these fasteners right here. I definitely foresee those being something that backs out later on. And I've got it mostly lined up. It's square and level, so it can stay right there. We'll do these one at a time. Click. A little bit more, probably too much. Clickage. Let's see if we can handle two at the same time. Okay, and I'll do these by hand. Feels good. That's yep. All right, those are tight. Now you may be wondering, what are these little holes right here? Those are for these little set screws. Tighten those down, and it helps to prevent this from turning and rotating on the shaft. I'm also going to put some thread lock on those guys. Oh no, my nut. Come here. You're working. All right, little set screw. Clickage, set screw clickage. Uh-oh, had some overflow action there. Let's go ahead and give that a quick wipey down. There we go. Wonderful. All right, now we can focus our attention up here to this last adjuster, and that's going to bring our steering wheel into its position. Okay, let's see if I guessed the right wrench sizes. I think that's 18. Sure. And a 15 on the front. Did I get that one right? Yeah, sure did. Whoa, those are tight. Holy smokes. What is this? No, come here.
a lot better.
Oh yeah, these are gonna be great. Come here. Your phone's break free. Comes pre-corroded. Get some more ass in it. There. Loosey goosey. What I'm going to do is adjust this sleeve now, and it's going to lengthen this rod right here. That's going to translate into rotational movement out of the steering gear. That's going to head up the shaft and to the steering wheel, thus leveling and aligning the steering wheel. So as I rotate this, you guys are going to go ahead and sit in the driver's seat, and you watch it and let me know when it's level, okay? Well, I'll come around over here and we'll set you guys up right here. And you keep an eye on this. Tell me when it's flat and level, please. Very good. How about now? Is that good? Oh, a little too far. A little too far. I gotta go back the other way. Okay, that's looking good. Yeah, let me come in here and I'll double check you guys' work just to make sure. That looks good to my eye. Okay, let's go back down below, lock it all down, and we'll test drive it and make sure this stays level like it's supposed to. Okay, let's go ahead and lock this down. Tightening. Click. Yeah, we don't need to wrench on these to the moon till we stretch the clamps out. Just sufficiently tight is sufficiently tight. Click. All right, let's let this thing down and get the heads off. Hit the road. All right, on the ground, let's hit the road. Make sure we're all good here. Restarting Jeep now. Safety. Double safety.
Hold up, hold up.
Uh-oh, what's in the way? Oh, I'm not gonna run into another car. I'm better than that.
He was avoiding the speed bump, so I wanted you to know he was there.
But he's supposed to go over the speed bump. All right, my preliminary assessment indicates that this wheel is straight. Awesome. I think we got it on the first try. A lot of times, employing this method requires you to make a couple other super fine adjustments to make sure that that wheel is as level as you would like. They end up being, you know, here or here. But I think we're good. Very nice. Yeah, that's much better than over here. It's not gonna work. All right, everybody, this one is gonna be a resounding success yet again. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off right now because I'm gonna go out on the big road over there, and being how this is the no door, no roof model, we're gonna catch a lot of wind noise. So you guys aren't going to be able to hear me. That being said, as always, I'd like to thank you for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm assuming you did since you were here all the way to the end. If in fact my assumption was correct, I would only ask of you to communicate that to me effectively by tapping that like button down below. So again, and as always, thank you for watching. And most importantly, do not forget to have yourselves a great day. See you guys later. End of transmission.